Analog or digital, modeling or amps? That's the eternal question. And I've been going crazy for the past 2 or 3 months because I just have not been satisfied with my tone. So what I did is, again, for the past like 2-3 months, I've been just researching, trying to find out what I wanted. Did I want to go out and buy 3 or 4 new amps, 2 or 3 new amps, whatever, new speaker cabinet, or did I want to get a Kemper or like a Line 6 Helix or something like that? Actually, I just sold my Line 6 Helix and I pretty much owned everything Line 6 has made, just because I wasn't all the way happy with it. And that's kind of the constant battle when you're trying to find tones. But this journey that I've been on has really brought up the question, do you want to go analog or digital? And as I was researching things, researching tone, I came up with a really good analogy that I feel personifies the question analog or digital, modeling or amps really well, and that is running. I like to run a lot when I can, but I live in a really rainy place. I live in Vancouver, BC, or just outside of Vancouver. I think amp modeling or digital solutions, which I love and I still use, are like running in a gym on a treadmill. It's not as fun as running outside to me. It's not as inspiring, but it gets the job done and it's way more convenient. You can run in a gym on a treadmill when it's rainy. You can run when it's ultra hot outside and you don't feel like just sweating your brains out. On the other hand, I think real tube amps, particularly, or even solid state amps, are like running outside. You get the wind through your hair, literally pushing air through your speaker, and it just feels better to me. There's no replacement for it, even if like this amp is in another room by itself, isolated mic. There's just something different about the feel of it, but there's definitely something different or something to be said for the convenience of having digital amp solutions. And the funny thing is, right after I went out and bought this new amp, it's an old Rivera knucklehead, and a used Mesa cab I got for pretty cheap, so relatively inexpensive. Right after I did that, I went out and bought a Helix, or sorry, HX Stomp from Line 6, because like it's not always convenient to lug an amp around with you. Sometimes I need an audio interface, sometimes I need some headphones to plug in, or sometimes it's late and I can't crank up an amp, which is the case. Actually, let's go to my house real quick, and I want to show you the setup there, and I also want to show you just the difference between tones that I got from analog versus digital, and one more big solution that's relatively new to me for this whole issue. Welcome to my house. You don't know this, but I live in kind of a basement suite or an apartment that's in a house. It's like one floor of a house. So I have somebody above me and somebody below me. So I literally can't have anything that's louder than like watching TV, which is really tough when you want to crank up an amp, but you know, it is what it is. So I've had to kind of live with what I've had to live with. And up to this point in my life, the solution has been things like HX Stomps or Helixes or bias effects, things like that, direct solutions or plugins. But ever since I went through this thing where like I want to play through real amps, for this one reason I'll show you. I like to reach back and just turn a knob. Also, I like the fact that I have 2 amps right here, and I'm not stuck with those options, but those are the sounds I have to work with. I don't get option paralysis like I do with a lot of plugins and things where I could have endless possibilities all day. But like recently, and I have Pete Thorne to thank for this in his channel, some technology has come out. This has been a really big game changer for me. It's allowed me to use my amps at home. It's called active, active load boxes mixed with IRs. And all you do is, I have my amp here. It's a Rivera, it's kind of like a hot rodded Marshall, and then it goes into this box up here. This is a Boss tube amp expander, and all it is a load box. It takes the place of a speaker, so it takes the energy that a speaker would normally take and dissipate, and you know, as volume, and it takes it and it just loads it down to a level that's silent. Check this out. It's completely quiet in this room, but this guitar sounds great. So I have my amp cranked up going into this thing, and this thing sends a line level into my audio interface. A Celestion impulse response loaded up for a creamback 412 cabinet, mic'd with a 121 and a 57. And you may not know what all that means, but all it means is it sounds like that speaker cabinet, which is awesome for somebody that's in a situation like me, or maybe you, where you can't use your amp. This allows you to do it at a low volume. And I still use all my plugins and stuff too, depending on what the situation I'm in is, but it gives me the opportunity to kind of have a hybrid system to where, okay, I can't pick amps, I can't pick analog amps right now, but I don't necessarily want to go all digital modeling or plugins, so I'm kind of making a hybrid of the two. And it's been a really big kind of solution for me, and maybe it will be for you too, but I want to get your opinion on this, and to do that, I just want to give you a sound sample of a song that I've been working on. The solo for this song the first, or one of the versions of it, whichever one I showed you, is going to be the direct version of it, and it's using Helix Native as a plugin. That's it, just direct into an audio interface, and it's Helix Native. The other one, the second one, or the other one, is going to be just this guitar into that amp, that Rivera, into the Waza tube amp expander, and then right in to the audio interface with an impulse response, so you can see which one you like better. And it really does maintain the characteristics of this particular amp or any amp into just a speaker cabinet mic'd in a room. It's never going to be the same. It's never going to be the same as feeling the air hitting you from the amp, but it is a really good solution. Here are the sound samples for you. So that's just a quick example of how this kind of new technology has really helped me. And I want your opinion on this. Which one did you like the sound of better? And which one do you like the workflow of, or the feel of the sound of better? Direct amp modeling, or real tube amps, pushing air in the room, or some kind of hybrid system like this? Let me know in the comments. See you later.